Out of my control. Let's get this started. Find the one I put out. Yes. So I do that. Copy the link. I'm sorry if you're watching this. I just have to get all my stuff done. Have I found the only time of day that nobody is at home? So yeah, generally just throwing a live stream up because it is the end of the month, and I do genuinely forget to do these at the end of the month. And I know it's the 5th of March, which is not the end of the month. Just generally come on to see if anybody was out there. live on Instagram, TikTok. Just doing this to get up the views because YouTube suffers all the time. Yeah. Everybody has gone out. I think everybody has disappeared tonight. The one night I don't go out. Oh, we've got a viewer. All the bikers must have been out today and now they're sleeping. So they are. And I'm generally just sitting in the house, saving money for my trip. If anybody has any questions, feel free to, in the comments here and in the comments on the live stream, just knock them up there too. I wish I knew how to stream. Well, I do know how to stream. I have to pay to get the joint account thing that makes me be able to do this on my computer and do it out to all my stuff. So I understand that it is a problem, but we will get around things. I'm also having a beer, so. Hello, Gordon on TikTok. So generally I am trying to do more lives, TikTok and YouTube, just so everybody knows. I know the quality and I forget which one I'm pointing at. The quality on TikTok is decent. I need to pay to get better quality in Stream Farm, so that's understandable. So I just have to live with what I've got. But I also know with TikTok, Spectre is also live streaming right now, so I understand that I'm not going to get the same crowd. What about you? How is Scotland? Scotland's next weekend, not this weekend. Boat is next Saturday, and then boat back is Monday, same time. So yeah, still to go to that. I'm looking forward to it. I have umpteen things to do. I've still to tighten the chain, I've still to clean the bike, I've still to charge everything, update my sat navs, clean my boxes, get my other waterproof bag, get my box seat thing fitted, and then yeah, we'll be ready for Scotland and enjoy the Scottish hospitality as usual. And then when I come back from that, on the Friday that on the Monday when I come back, I'm also off on the Friday. So I'm going to Donegal on Friday with my girlfriend Lisa. So when I go on Friday, I think we're taking the bike. So that means I'm going to have to get the bike ready again, switch out the storage seat for the proper seat, and then go. So I think in the space of a week, I'm going to be doing 500 miles, 600. So about a month's worth of travel in a week. Good test for the MV14. I did a clean on the MV14 there the other week, just as a quick get the greasy cack off it, and it actually works brilliantly. no if, buts, or maybes about how it works. I have used this stuff for years. I will specify that first. I've used MB14 for a long time, and it has worked. It will work brilliantly all the time. You can actually just watch the dirt just melt off it. So I did an initial clean there last week. I'll probably do a clean this Wednesday when I'm doing the chain. Have to make the bike look pretty. So yeah, I'm buzzed. I'll be honest, I'm not actually looking forward to the trip. I have a bit of a trip anxiety going at the minute. I don't travel well, so I get lost awfully quick. We need to get some. Yes, 100%. They ship, from what I remember, he ships all over the UK and Ireland. Grab some, tell him I sent you, or you seen me saying about it. That's what I'm generally going to be doing, is encouraging people to try it. It's rated in at the same price as most of the top brands, and I would say it does better. A lot of the bigger brands, it's all just stupid stuff in it, but 100%. I use mine. Obviously, the Tracer's white and grey. I use it from the top down. I clean from the top down. It's a bit of an OCD thing that I do, and you can just see it just fall off the sides. It's so memorizing. No, it falls off the side, and then you hit it with a hose, and it just disappears. What I'd like to do as well is hit it with a hose, or no, spray it on, leave it for 5-10 minutes, spray all that off with a hose, and then spray it on again, and then just go around and clean all the dirty bits, like the whole bike. But it is worth trying. I would really, really, really encourage people to go try it. And just so people know, there's no financial gain for me to do that. To push the product, I know the product. I can properly say that this stuff is good. Great. I mean, if you're going to get it sent to like England, Scotland, Wales, or Ireland, he will see that by the address. But even just send him an email saying that Donkey was talking about it. I'm getting it sent to England. Can you pack it really good? And he will do that because he is a top guy. So we've got 10 people here and 2 people on YouTube. YouTube, you're letting me down as usual. But no, once these 500 odd miles are over, I am straight to the local tire fitter and getting some new tires. I'm in a bit of a dilemma. I run Maxxis tires, and you watching me? I run Maxxis tires. I've seen the new Michelin ones have been released, and I kind of want those, and they're kind of bloody expensive. So I'll be going to either Charleshurst Fast Fit or GS in Hillsborough. Nope, they're not in Hillsborough no more. GS in Ballymena. I'm getting a set, so fingers crossed. Gordon, did you have the Maxxis on the ZX? A lot of people don't like Maxxis. I had 2 sets. One was a sponsored set. Loved them. The second set was just, I put a puncher in one of them and needed another set, so I got another set. Excuse me. And I've never had a problem with them. They're half the price of what I would normally pay, which you can't beat half price. I mean, I think Charleshurst Fast Fit Belfast are doing a set of Pilot Road 6s, the new ones, for 280 quid or 290. I think the Maxxis pair for me was 180 for a pair at GRC Motorcycles. Yep. That's right. Both sets were put on by GRC, just saying that. So yeah, we're we're pretty much on schedule, sort of parts wise. I do need a chain and sprocket coming up soon, which it's not too bad because I've got like 20, 25, 25, 26,000 miles out of. By the time I get finished with them, probably about 25, 26,000 mile on it. So absolutely loving it. The XT was never like this. The XT would just chew up a chain in 7 or 8 months. You put a standard chain on that wasn't heavy duty, it would chew it up in about 5 months. So it's really great that I'm actually saving money on a bike and not throwing chain and sprockets at it every 5 seconds. But I'm hoping for the trip to Scotland. Now I'm going to say this out loud and I'm going to regret it because it happened with the virus that I got. If I wake up on Saturday morning and I hear anything about Storm What's His Face coming through, I'm not sitting on a boat for 2 odd hours. I'm sorry, I will literally pish like 200 and odd pound out the window. I am not getting on a boat again like that. He says, but he'd probably get on a boat again like that. I'm going to be taking my GoPro and maybe doing like a little bit of, what do you call it, vlogging on the boat, and on my way to the trip and stuff. But thank you very much. Hopefully this year as well, I'll do more Northern Irelandy things. I tend to go to the opposite way, so I'll wake up on the weekend, find out where everybody's going to Portrush, Ballycastle, and I'll go the opposite way because I'm not a very sociable person. Well, I am, but I like my own space. So I'll go up Spelga and up round sort of Enniskillen and stuff like that there. So if you see me, Gordon, just give me a shout. If you ever see me out on the road, I might have passed you at some point. Just give me just wave or just don't beep your horn. Really hate when people beep their horn at me to get my attention because it normally rings out my worst side and there's a finger on this hand that comes out really quickly. Yeah. Small numbers. Even then, small numbers to me is one. Me. And I'll take Lisa on the bike all the time. She loves going out on the bike, so I'll take her and just go. I think the last time we went down to Warren Point, went round Warren Point and found, or no, actually it wasn't Warren Point, it was up around Spelga, found a random road and then started heading down and ended up in Warren Point. Yeah, nod the head or a couple of fingers off the steering wheel. Yeah. I do the, or just, or nod, or yeah. But no, I do get it. I mean, as I said in one of my TikToks the other day, I out of the kindness of my heart, knocked on a car window the other day and asked the guard, here, yo, stick your lights on. Your lights aren't on. And she turned around and she goes, it's 4:15 in the afternoon. Why do I need my lights on? Number one, it was pitch black. Number two, it was a black car. And for any of the Northern Ireland people know, it was Westlink at about rush hour, coming into rush hour. So yeah, I don't know if that person survived the trip home because it didn't look like it at some point. But no, I just take myself off into the mountains, just box of sandwiches and away I go. I'm just hoping this time when I go to Scotland, that happened 2 years ago. I was coming home from Scotland. I think it was like I was in Glasgow, and I got a message from a mate going, "Mate, you need to get out of Glasgow quick, or get out of Scotland quick." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, dude, they're locking down Scotland today. And it was like, no way. And I got to the boat and the security wouldn't let me through. And it was like, oh, this is it. I'm not getting out of Scotland. And the worst thing was, I had to be at work the next day. And it was like freaking me out that I was trying to just get out of Scotland. Nothing wrong with Scotland. I just didn't want to be stuck in it. But no, it's just sometimes you have to laugh. As I said about the anxiety with traveling, I have a sat nav on the handlebars. So there's not a big deal. Sorry, the message on the screen there. I have a sat nav on the handlebars, but I still get that anxiety that I'm going to get lost. I think it was the first time I went to Edinburgh for the show. I don't know why, but it was like a 7-lane motorway going in one direction, and I had to be in the the third lane, but not the second. But it could be in the fourth, but not the third. I was like, how does anybody do this? But yeah, it was one of those trips. But now I can do it anytime. Oh no, not the quad lock. Don't like quad lock. I got one of those. One of the ultimate add-ons cases. Absolutely brilliant. I have drop kicked that up the Stena and my phone still survived. Not a fan of quad lock because of the thing that to do with the sensor in your phone, specifically iPhones, I think, mainly. But everybody has their own. I mean, just because I don't like it doesn't mean everybody else has to listen. It was actually quite funny when I was fumbling my helmet and my gloves at the same time, and I kicked, I dropped the phone case, and you do that, like, I'm going to put my foot out to save it, and I put my foot out to try and like cushion it, and I ended up booting it halfway up the boat, and it just stopped under a lorry tire, and it was like, oh, so yeah, I mean, I'm 5'7", so it probably came from about this high, hit the floor, and then got kicked up the boat, and it was just so funny. Even the guy who was strapping my bike down at the time was just like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "What was it?" He goes, "What was that?" I mean, that was my phone. And he said, "Nope, not a chance. Don't know you. You're not coming in." But yeah, pretty crazy sometimes. But I mean, everything happens to me when I'm on tour. Everything. For people that don't know, I went to Wales 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Two or 3 years ago. I went to the Mac Loop. Specifically, I wanted to go and see the fighter jets doing in the mountains and round the mountain stuff, and didn't see any of it. Was coming back, and I was on a road that was about 5 or 6 miles straight back into a place called Bala, and was puttering along. It was the first time a big trip on the Tracer, and the next minute I seen this thing come. I'm sort of sitting like this on the bike, and I seen just this little dart thing come in and zoom off. I was like, "Whoa, what was that?" Thought nothing of it, and the mighty sound that came from it scared me that hard. I felt like my whole body just went into like a spasm, and I started like tank slapping. Which, if you're ever on a bike and you start tank slapping, you're thinking this is it, this is the end. Just tank slapping, and I sort of regained control, and it was literally 10 seconds. My brain just caught something in the mirror, and I looked even harder, and I was like, "What the fuck? That's a fucking another one." It's like, away it went. It was 2 F-15 Strike Eagles following each other, and got back to Bala Lake, and they're actually dog fighting like training over the top of the lake really low, and it was like, how is this normal? Why is this normal? Got back to the RB or the B&B, and the wee woman was like, "Is this? Do you not see this where you come from?" And I was like, "Hell no! If I seen that from where I came from, the all-out war has broken out." But it was amazing to watch, and now I'm hooked. I want to go back, and I want to do it properly, and I want to see actual planes. Although it mightn't be this year because I think they're all a bit busy at this point in time. So they are. It's actually fun. It's actually a fun trip because I did like 2 nights in the Lake District, and then rode down to Wales. Did 2 days there, and then headed home, and nearly missed the boat again. I think that was the first time I've nearly missed the boat. I've nearly missed the boat 3 consecutive occasions. Well, 3 separate trips, but you never want to miss the boat. Or in my case, book it the wrong way around. I've done that a few times too. Jesus, my Twitter's going mad. Are you out in the bike this weekend, Gordon? Because that weather is pretty fine outside. Jesus, YouTube is just getting absolutely whitewashed by Twitter or Instagram. I'm not Instagram either. TikTok. Hello, one person on YouTube. You speaking? No, you're not going to speak. Speak. Just yeah, hey, is everybody? Is everybody doing okay? I mean, you don't have to like write it in the comments, but as long as you're doing all right, you're doing all right. Ah, you bought one of them university TCs. SK, that's because your messages probably aren't worth seeing. Any good rallies this year? No, I don't know. I'm not in the bike scene anymore. I haven't been for a while. I do support Street Fighters, the other Street Fighters, the odd Key Viper run, the Hospice one if it's on, and all the other runs that the other clubs do, I don't tend to do. Here, try riding in the cold. You're an old man, even in your 30s. I feel it every bloody morning. I'm not actually playing on PC. I'm actually live streaming, so you can see me here, but I'm also on YouTube live streaming. I do a live stream every month, and everybody was doing other things. But I'm none of these. I'm not a console warrior. It's all PC. Might be a really old PC, but it's a PC. See what I've got. One person on YouTube, and then I've got 10 people apparently on TikTok. TikTok. Which Oh, yeah, I was just lazy and didn't change that part. Yeah, I do play Counter Strike. Source, not that stupid CS:GO one. But again, I just bumble around in servers and get my ass handed to me. I'm looking to do an upgrade this year on the PC, and then maybe start gaming again because I want to do back into Battlefield, and then back into Battlefield, the Battlefield 4 one right up to 4, and then I want the new ones as well. So S- SK, you not in harassing Spectre or Saber or whatever his name is? A lot of people have gone Intel. A lot of people have gone Intel Nvidia, and I am being the bonehead in the group, and I am sticking with AMD and ATI because it's better. I'm putting that out there on the internet. AMD is better than Intel Nvidia. We'll probably regret that saying that, but hey. I was on Spectre's there the other day, and he seagulls, the microphone in his phone picking up seagulls, and I said to shoot them. Didn't shoot them. I wish he did. Today was a good day for motorcycles. There were plenty down in Newcastle today. Yes, because it's the first day of summer. Yeah, normally it's in March when everybody decides to come out again. Um, I was gonna, well, I would say I was gonna head down. I was asked, did I want to go down? I didn't. Um, just, just don't. I was going to do bits and pieces around the house, but then we decided to go for a walk. Yeah, Newcastle is always packed. See when that stupid ball in the sky comes out, like see like this. See when that stupid ball in the sky comes out, it's like everybody in the country loses their mind and goes to bloody Newcastle. And every conversation in Newcastle with every biker's, oh, the weather's lovely today, as they're wearing about 4 layers. You can tell I love other bikers, really. I love them. First time I got the Tracer, I was in Bangor, and it was in the middle of summer. And a wee old guy comes hobbling across, and he goes, "Ah, is that your bike, son?" You mean, yeah, 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 just got it. He turned around and he goes, "You're the youngest person I've seen riding that type of bike." And I've never felt like punching an old man before, but that was definitely the first time. And he proceeded to tell me that he had one, and he had the heated grips, the heated seats, the heated jacket, the heated gloves, the heated trousers, the heated boot insert. I mean, he needed a power station to run the heated stuff that he had, let alone the poor bike's batteries probably zeroed out. So it was bikers in Northern Ireland really they confused me. I was like, oh, it's lovely weather, it's lovely weather. As you say, Gordon, 6 layers on, and probably 4 of those are heated. And then they'll have their battery packs plugged in all over themselves, and then the one big friggin' 240-volt plug into their bike. Oh, this sounds like I complain about bikers. Probably why some of them don't like me. Gordon, did you do the NHS run? Did anybody from Northern Ireland on a bike do the NHS run? Because yeah, people fell out with me for that. Jeans and jacket. No. I wear exactly the same thing as I wear in the summer as I wear in the winter. Oh, well, you're working. You're working. I used to do it. I used to have the old Army Gore-Tex, Combat 95 Gore-Tex over my work stuff. But Gore-Tex was never designed for something that goes 70 mile an hour. Well, 60 mile an hour. And I mean, because it was cheap as well. I have friends in the army. I had stuff that I had from a job, and I mean, so cheap, so cheerful, and it kept you dry for a good long time until you went really fast and got really soaked. But no, I meant 60. It was a 125. It could only do 60. It was a 70 if you went downhill. And then 75 if you got a good breeze behind you. But no, I actually a lot of things I want to do this year, but I just can't. I love my first 125. I did not love my first 125. My first 125 was a Siamoto Gecko. I bought it from Kickstart Motorcycles. So if you're from Belfast, that should tell you something. And within 6 weeks, it was returned. It tried to kill a friend. It went through 15 or 20 tail lights. It went through 10 headlights. It went through 6 batteries. It just did not want to work. We were driving to the Northwest one year. The first year I got to drive to the Northwest on my own bike. I was loving it. Driving down the road and I heard ping, bah! I was like, what's this noise? What had happened was the bolt had sheared off the manifold, went from under the bike in an upward trajectory and clipped my friend's visor here and put a white burn or like a white melted line in his visor from his nose right like literally right past his eye, and away it went. Don't be setting yourself. Don't you burn them sausages. And I tell you, the guy behind me was not very happy, but I couldn't go anywhere, so I had to turn the bike back and come back. And I was gutted. I was really gutted. So it was, but the 125 that I really loved was the little XT 125 because it did what it did with all the bikes that I ever owned. But this one was special because I bought it at 0 miles and I put 50,000 miles on it before I killed it. And then a winter killed it. And then something else happened and it killed it. It just kept reviving, sort of like reviving a dead body. It just kept getting revived back to life. And then I bought the XT. And that was the end of that. The XT and the XT sat beside each other in the garden. And the 125 one gets sat there for about 6 months before a friend at work offered me money for it. And he could have it for whatever price he paid. I think he paid like 150 quid. I just didn't want it. Ironically enough, when the XT died, it sat in the same place as that one. And the scrap guy who came to take that, gave me 600, 500, I think it was stuff somewhere in it for it. And it literally left an oil trail from the garden up the street in an Indian man's van. So yeah, any bike that I have normally ends up with the same problem, same damage. Just use kills it. And then see people on this app on TikTok have 125s that there's probably more zip ties and sellotape holding them together, and you're like, why are you doing this to yourself? And they do apply loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of money into them. And it's like, I've been there. Don't do that. Yeah, bike graveyard in the garden. I have moved out of the house. That was my mum's house, so I have moved out of that house. So it'll be interesting with the tracer. Will the tracer end up in that part of the garden? Probably not. She probably won't let me put it in there, but put it up there and put a wee tombstone beside it. Because I should have done like a little memorial to each bike that always sat in that corner, just to see what would happen. I'm definitely not the type of person to buy a bike every 6 months, or I always try to buy reliable. So I'll buy a bike with a couple of thousand miles on it, and hopefully I get more out of it. Yeah, place on the wall. I mean, I could then sell tickets to it when I become a big famous YouTuber person, and I could sell tickets and then give my mum like half, which then she'd be happy with. But at the rate that's going, it's going to be a long time. So it is. But I've had bikes stolen. Even the person who stole it couldn't get it started. And that was the fun one, trying to explain that to the police. They stole my 125, took it down the entry, and they couldn't get it started. And the police like, oh, it seems like they couldn't get it started, and we've successfully recovered it. I mean, I have the key, and I can't even get it started. But what had happened was they had cut the light. They had cut the wiring to the headlight, not the wiring to the ignition. They just minced the wiring to the ignition, and you could flash the light pretty quick. I'm doing well. I kind of stalled on the YouTube stuff. The YouTube, I think it's like 2014. TikTok's swiftly overtaken that, but again, I will always point towards the YouTube because that's where I'm living and that's where I will live, because nobody on here wants to see a 10-minute video on TikTok. Even me. But I think a lot of influencers do have multiple platforms. That's why I was saying at the start, if I could get the program that I'm running to record, or the program that I'm running to record the live stream to YouTube, if I can get that to run to this, it means then I can cover more base. But that is way in the future when I have money and I stop buying bike things. It's like, I bought that. I bought a seat thing this here for people who can see it on YouTube. I bought a seat thing. And I'm now just trying to find out what I can stuff into it. It's actually quite a good idea. And I know people on TikTok have seen it, but that there, it's actually really good because you put your stuff in there and it stays in there. And what I've been talking to a friend about doing is getting this not hydro dipped but wrapped. I'm going to get it wrapped in like a donkey camo that he's going to design for me. So it's going to be specific enough that you know it's me. Like the XT. I had the blue XT 660X, and on the back it has like a pointed end over the tail light. It said Yamaha, and that's all it was. It was just a Yamaha sticker. But I stuck one of my donkey heads on the back of it, And now, every time that bike comes onto Facebook, I get freaking messages. I get people who are interested in buying it going, here, this is your bike. What was it like? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't had it for like 3 years. It's like, but I have a whole load of people like in dealerships who dealt with the bike. They know the condition and they've seen it, and they're like, yeah, don't buy it. So the guy who bought it must have really, really miffed on how he cannot sell this, or he's managed to sell it to someone who just doesn't know. But it'll be interesting to see if it ever turns up, because I know the reg, and I would love it. I would love to. I would actually buy that bike back if I knew the fucking problem with it. But again, I need the money. And the girlfriend says if I'm to buy another bike, I have to buy her one. Oh, I have to buy her one, which I'm down for that. But I don't think she could handle an XT because it's so bloody tall and we're both so short. But I have a big plan in my head, but it's just one of those things. It's so much to do, so much to. I want to try and get on a BMW. I want to ride. If anybody in Northern Ireland has a GS 1200, probably a newish one, and would let me test ride it for say a couple of hours, I will literally leave my bike at your house, take yours out for an hour, and then bring it back, probably with a full tank of petrol in it. I want to do a review on that. I want to do reviews on so many bikes, but bike dealers in Northern Ireland are very greedy with their money and their demo bikes. And yeah, the only way you get a good demo run is if you go to like Charles House and take it out for the half an hour that they give you, or talk to them and try and get more time. If they think you're going to buy it, they'll probably give you more. You've got Phil McCallum's who do marshaled marshaled test rides, which don't work because you're controlled, and that's not good being controlled on a test ride. And then most people won't want to give you a bike unless you have the money or you're even interested in buying it. Which I know it's a shitty thing going in and asking to test ride a bike you've no interest in. Matching Africa Twin, they are low seats. I've got friends in GS. I could probably get one in the summer. Cousin has one, I think. I don't know. I haven't spoken to my cousin in ages. I haven't seen him. I think he has an Africa Twin. He changes his bike every other month. But I want to try the GS Africa Twin. I want to try the ZH2. I want to try the H2. I want to try the Ducati. I want to try basically all the top end sort of bikes. But I also want to try a CCM. I want a CCM. I've seen so many of them in Northern Ireland, but no ficker is willing to give them out on a day that I want and let a stranger take them out to make a video. It's crazy. It really is. He's what, one Africa Twin? I think I've seen Africa Twins. They look cool. I just look stupid on it. I look tiny. You look like a backpack on the thing. I look more the tank box on it is probably bigger than me. Hold on, your mate isn't called Trevor by any chance? I'll wait for that reply because this one could sting me in the ass. Gordon. Ah, fuck, thank God. Yeah, my cousin Trevor has one. I think he has it still. He was the agent that got me into bikes, and I run off in my own direction. I'm not surprised the guy who knows where I live on this, and I know where he lives, is on this tonight. He drove coming out of the Chinese there the other day, and the bike passed me, and I was like, "All right, right." And next minute, the bikes are. I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Did you rev at me?" And he messaged back, "Yeah, mate, I seen the hoodie." And then I remembered I have a hoodie that has donkey written across the back of it. And it was like, "All right, okay." So that's fairly well. But like I was looking through, I go through my YouTube videos every now and again just to see what's still. Obviously, through time, things drop off, and I think the one video that still gets views is how to take the front seat off a tracer, and it gets like 130 to 100 views a day, and I'm like, why? And then I remembered nobody knows how to do it. People don't know how to take the front seat off because the key on the back takes the back seat off, but there's no key in the front to take the front seat off. The front is like a little rubber bung. You take it out, you pull a little lever, and then you pop it off. So it was like, okay, made a video about it. It bangs views. Let's see. I wonder how many views it's got. Let's see. We swing the ruse around it. So the video was released the 30th of November 2019. 10,000 views, 102 likes, and 11 dislikes. Yeah, mate, I've found that with people with GSs, they're really protective over it. I don't get it. Maybe, and that I'm not chastising your friend, but maybe if you turned up in full BMW gear, you're allowed because you're in the club. And you've also spent a shit ton of money to look like a BMW rider. My mate, he bought a GS 650 Dakar, and I swear to God, the shop seen him coming because they sold him the trousers and the jacket and a white helmet to match. It's like a uniform. It's like you have to wear the same bloody thing. Yeah, but definitely. I've heard so much about BMWs that you can adjust the suspension while you're riding along, and it's like, I want to do that. And then I remember I don't have an extra 25 grand in my bank account to do that. And that's why I do the Cool FM cash call every week. And that's why my phone bill is through the roof. Oxford jacket, RST jeans. There you go. Sorted. 1, 2, 300 quid. Sorted. Mine. Icon jacket, icon trousers, icon helmet. 2 years I've had, no, say 3 years I've had the jacket and the trousers, and not one drop of water have I felt inside that jacket and inside those trousers. Maybe a wee bit of cold crotch, but that's about it. And mine get used pretty much every day, and they smell like they get used pretty much every day. I think there's more of the warehouse on it than lying dust on it than I have actually in my lungs.